Pretty much what he wants me to do is data log the idle and part throttle. Okay, so we sunk that map and I told him I made the log. Tuning the car, tuning Sasha so far was very If you're new here, welcome to the AutoLust YouTube channel. If you're already an AutoLust family member, thank you. And what's swinging, gang? So tuning the car, tuning Sasha so far was very uneventful. And you'll see what I mean in a little while. Well, matter of fact, let me just show you. Pretty much what he wants me to do is data log the idle and part throttle to make sure that wait, this camera, man, I should have put my other gimbal on it to make sure that the needle is bone straight, which it is. Everything is looking good in here. So I'm gonna do some some part throttle driving to make sure that everything is running right while it's data logging, and see what he says next.
A few moments later.
Okay, so we sunk that map and I told him I made the log for the idle and part throttle. Well, I put park throttle. Also, the RPM needle wave is steady and good like a stock car. As you can see, her idle is bone steady. So this little base map he sent me, the drivability is pretty good. I mean, I only went around the corner, but it's pretty good so far. So let's see what's next. Okay, so after that first revision of that first map 1, I sent the tuner the information, told him what I felt about it. One thing to note, the car does drive a lot better than being on the boot mod stage 2 OTS tune, but of course it would. This base map was made for this highly modified car, so of course it's going to drive good. The OTS stage 2 was made for a completely stock X6M with downpipes. That's it. So my car is so far beyond that till it's almost criminal to even ride around on the OTS stage 2. But before I get to the things that I don't like about custom tuning, I'm gonna tell you the things that I do like about my tuner and why I chose him. So one of the main reasons I chose my tuner is because the tuner and I have been back and forth about custom tuning my car since I started it. Since I bought the car, almost literally. So that's about almost 3 years. We've been back and forth. And every mod I've done to the car, I spoke to him about it as well. So he'll know that I have this going on. So just for him taking that time out to back and forth with me for so long, I don't feel like I owe him that loyalty, but I mean, of course, that goes without saying. And most importantly is he's the tuner that tuned the crazy F10 M5 that spanked the upgraded turbo 765 LT McLaren. Not a 720S, not a 750S, a 765 LT, if I'm saying that right. Upgraded turbo 765. Imagine how powerful a F10, not a F90, not a G90, a F10 M5 has to be to spank on that car in a roll race at that, not in a drag race, in a roll race. That car has to be dialed in to the T. It has to make massive amounts of power, and it has to make that power reliable also. So, I mean, that's enough in itself to want to choose a tuner like that. And he still has or had a couple of world record cars if those other BMWs haven't been beaten yet. You know, he had like a couple of the fastest this, the fastest that, the quickest this, quickest that. You know, so yeah, like he isn't playing. He's just not a a tuner that races his own car and his car is the fastest and that's it. No, a lot of stuff that comes out of this guy's tuning garage, I'm gonna call it, because he does it remotely, but I'm gonna call his, figurative remote garage his tuning garage. So a lot of the stuff that comes out of his garage, it is world record stuff. That's how good his tuning is. So, big shout out to UMP. But the thing that I don't like is because he's so busy, and I'm sure he does most of this stuff himself, that his revisions take forever. So like I paid for the tune on the 24th. He had the first base map out like that. 30 minutes, I think. 30 minutes to an hour. The base map was ready for my car. That means he got right on it. He got right on it. And after that, he nowhere to be found. He hasn't even seen my messages yet. So the new update messages from me running around with Sasha on the bass tune. But I could understand that. He's a very busy guy. The only thing that I wish, he would tell you or at least put on the website is the time frame that he does have a custom tune could take from 1 to 11 revisions, and it's gonna be closer to 11, or more depending on how extremely modified your car is. But he does let you know it's gonna take a few revisions. But I wish he would state the time between the revisions that it could take too, because this guy, and I'm not faulting him, because if he is doing everything on his own, which I think he is, he could be doing 60 to 70 cars by himself, all at one time doing revisions. So I'm sure we're in some type of, I guess, order of who paid and when they paid and whose time is it for the next revision. So I'm sure my next revision will be coming soon, but I'm so happy that Sasha has a custom tune of her anyways, because she drives and idles very, very well, and I'm extremely happy about that. So I'm sure on the next tune we're going to start, throwing power at it. I don't know how much power the bass map makes, because he told me just to do mid throttle and idle and stop and go, just to make sure that the drivability is correct. And he told me to watch the RPM needle and make sure it's not waving or fluctuating as I'm driving and while I'm idling, which it wasn't. Maybe it was 1 or 2 instances when I came to a complete stop, the needle would barely dip and then it would smooth out and stay. So I don't know if that's normal. I mean, the car used to do that when it was stock sometimes, so that might be normal, but I don't know. It'll be up to him when he sees it. But yeah, guys, this is just the first update on the custom tune. I don't know how many episodes this is going to be for the custom tune, but believe me, every part of the tune we get, I'm going to have in the car. I'm going to be in the car while I'm tuning it and while I'm doing that map. So you guys will see what's going on. And I think I'm going to put my 11-inch tablet back on the windshield as well, so you guys can see the type of boost and, other things it's doing while I'm, logging that tune, so you guys can see it in real time. That's what I think I'm going to do on the next one, on the following ones. So that'll be good. But I will let you guys know when it's time for me to go to the track, because when I go to the track, I'm going to do no time runs. Of course I am. And unless it makes a world record pass, then it doesn't even matter at that point. But I want to do no time runs because, I don't know how fast or how slow or how long it's going to take me to get her lunches dialed in and things like that, or if I need another retune or revision because she's not getting down the track correctly or stuff like that. So most of my runs are going to be no time runs. At least that's how I want it to be, So Yeah, that's about. I mean, I know this isn't what I know. You guys are like, oh man, this next video, he's finna be 1,000 wheel, 1,000+ wheel horsepower. But no, custom tuning does not work like that. Unless you know, I don't know, you got like some type of what can I say, sponsorship with the tuner, and you got something big going on, like you some big company. I'm sure he'll just focus directly on the car until it's done. From day to night. That's not me. If you guys want me to be that type of YouTuber, subscribe, like, share the videos. And we can be that important. Because the car will be a world record car. But yeah, I guess we should be back next week with another update and a YouTube short on what's going on. So like, share, and subscribe. And AutoLust out.